I like to start with the overall width, height, and depth to make sure they're there. The overall width, using the linear command, is always in the front view, above the front view. The overall height is typically also in the front view. The depth can be shown in the top view or the side view. Between views. Between views it would be, for example, up here. We're going to put that here. The next thing I like to dimension are details for each feature. Each feature has a size and location. For example, here we have a location of the cut, a 3/4 and a 3/4, and information about its size, in which case it's 60 degrees. We also have a location of its depth here, so that information needs to be included. So we'll be dimensioning all of that to satisfy that requirement. Also try to keep your dimensions in between views. Minimize any dimensions on the outside perimeter of your drawing as much as possible. How to do an angular dimension. Click angular, and you're picking the edges of the lines. As long as the numbers are outside of the drawing, it's okay if the arrows are inside the drawing, but the value should not be on the inside. You could also pull it out here, of course, but we're going to keep it simple here. We're not going to leave it here because the arrow is on the corner. You never want to have the arrow on the corner. You never want to have any lines of the dimension or extension lines covered up by other features of the part. So make sure you're aware of where you're placing your part. Okay, other features. Here's a feature here. I'm now going to be talking about the 30-degree angle of the cut and its location and size. This value here should actually be up here. You never want to dimension to details which you do not know what they are. This 114, the details should be included with this angle, whereas having to go to a different view to identify that part is not that helpful to the manufacturer. So let's make sure that this is actually up here with the 30 degrees. Angular. Now we need 30 degrees. We're going to grab this line here and then pull it over this way to get that 30 degrees. There's a little dot right there. That's a def point, by the way. That does not print. Don't worry about those little dots. For linear, I need to grab this line. I have to be careful what corner I'm grabbing, so I'll just hit the enter key and grab the line itself. Now I can either use this value here or this value here. To the manufacturer, either would satisfy the requirements of building that part. I obviously don't want my dimension extension lines overlapping each other, so let me pull this down. There you go, that satisfies that rule. Alright, so this feature is measured, which is the same as this one up here. Now this opening is a feature. The 1 is another location dimension in which to place the hole. The 1 and the 2.5 tell the manufacturer where to cut the opening, whereas the 5/8 and the missing size dimension tells the manufacturer the size of that opening. Let's dimension it. Once again, adding this dimension would be appropriate to indicate the opening of the size. However, this number of 2 1/2 plus 2 1/4 equals 4 3/4. That makes one of these two dimensions redundant. You can remove the redundant dimension to satisfy what the manufacturer needs to build the part. That leaves us one more feature that needs to be dimensioned: the depth or the thickness of this feature. So let's add that dimension, the height of this part right here, and we're done with the block. It's appropriate to keep the numbers in the midpoint of all dimensions. And there's our feature, dimension, and ready to submit to be manufactured. Click on Save, and you're done with Lesson 4A.